What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Yuffie DLC for Final Fantasy VII. Now, obviously, we just talked about this yesterday. I was very positive on it, and then, I wake up on this beautiful Friday in Colorado, snow still on the ground, and I look at my phone, I look on Twitter, I look on all these different websites, and people are very upset about the Yuffie DLC. Obviously, more stuff has come out about it, so I do want to kind of go over that and discuss where I stand on it. And if, it's not really a question of, do people have the right to be upset or happy or whatever. Obviously, anybody can be whatever they want to be, right? And they can have whatever opinions they want to be, but I see it a certain way. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the crowd, and maybe it's a bigger crowd than me. Maybe I'm in the minority, but basically what we know is this, right? We talked about this yesterday, so this is partially a recap. If you have Final Fantasy VII's Remake on the PS4, you can upgrade to the PS5. Now, one additional, a wild card that was thrown in is this literally going to be the free PS Plus game for March. There's zero excuse why you don't have this game after March. You know what I mean? So that is phenomenal. That is, and it's an enormous game. I literally said it yesterday. It's my game of the year for last year. I mean, how many times can you have a game of the year be a PS Plus free game for everybody? I mean, now it's my game of the year, right? But that's an amazing thing. So there's a couple things that have happened. Number one is I see a lot of sites talking about the upgrade, and they're throwing in the whole, I saw IGN say, with one exception, that if you have the disc of Final Fantasy VII on your PS4, you can't upgrade it to if you have a digital. It's well, no duh. You know what I mean? Are people really still confused about that stuff? I mean, or does IGN, and I'm sure Kotaku probably cares because they care about all that garbage, but is it still an issue? Because obviously, if you have the disc on the PS4, and I get this. In fact, we talked about this leading into next generation of how it would work, especially for PlayStation people like myself, maybe you guys. We haven't really had backwards compatibility. We even have these free upgrades, so it was kind of new. And we talked about, okay, well, what if you have the disc for a game on PS4, but you buy the digital PS5? Will it recognize? How does it recognize the disc? Is it linked to your account? And the simple answer is no. I mean, there's really no way for it to know it's yours, because also you could borrow the disc from somebody, put it in, link it with your account, give the disc back to that person or wherever you got it from, and then upgrade it to the PS5. You know what I mean? So if people are upset about that, I can't help them. I don't really understand them personally, okay? If you have the disc for Final Fantasy VII on PS4, you got to get the disc PS5, or you have to accept that you'll have to rebuy it. I see nothing wrong with that. Now, I would say I'm quote-unquote lucky. I don't like using the word lucky or even luck with me, but, I guess I'm lucky because I have the digital edition of Final Fantasy. I do have actually the disc PS5, so it wouldn't really matter, but I'm going to get that free upgrade. All right, so that's that part. Then there's the Yuffie stuff. Now, this is what's making people upset. This is a DLC, so a mission pack, and you need the game to play it, so you can't just buy it separately. Again, understandable. I don't really think there's anybody upset about it, so we'll kind of move on from there. But it's only on PS5. Now, this is sending some people very, very crazy. I saw quite a few big YouTubers, big people on Twitter, tweet about it and talk about how it's not a good move. People still can't get the PS5, stuff like that. Here's the deal. I mean, and this can make me sound unpopular. It's okay. Well, here's another deal. I'll give you guys two deals. I won't lie to you. I've always been, and if you guys have watched these channels for a long time, you'll have known this. I have been an advocate for getting next-gen exclusives quicker, okay? I'm not saying the first day the PS5 is out, stop production on PS4, stop making games for PS4, stop having games come out on both. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying over time, sooner the better, because you want people to get the PS5. Now, I get a big issue with the PS5 is people do want it, but there's not enough, or they're too hard to get where people literally cannot get them. I understand that. And I understand the basic idea of, this Yuffie DLC. You need the PS5 version of the game in order to get it, which means you need the PS5. So if you have Final Fantasy VII on PS4, you cannot get this Yuffie DLC on the PS4. You would need to upgrade. I get the anger. At the same time, I'm okay with it, and hit the dislike button right now if you guys don't like it. It counts as engagement, so I don't really mind it all that much. But I will say I don't really mind it. And again, that could be very controversial. That definitely is going against what I saw a lot of other people say, because I know a lot of people are upset about it. It's tough. I mean, I get it, because if you have the base game on PS4 and there is DLC for it, it's like, well, why can't I just get the DLC? But the DLC, they said it's optimized for PS5. I don't know how they did it. Maybe they were working on the PS5 version and they added in this DLC, and there's something like code-wise to do it, or maybe Sony paid them and said, hey, let's get this DLC and let's only get it to the next, for next gen. What I will say is this: it is interesting, because one of the things I've talked about is when you go for this next gen upgrade, right? When they were going to announce Final Fantasy VII, one of the things I said was, do you make it free, or do you make it where you have to buy it again, like a Game of the Year edition? Now, actually, that's also making people mad. I believe if you don't have the game and you just want to get it for the PS5, I think it's $70 now. Remember, last year getting it on the PS4, it was $60. So if you missed out and you need to get it for the very first time, now it's $70. Okay, so that's obviously making people a little bit upset. That doesn't mean, by the way, the Yuffie DLC is $10. It just means the prices went up, okay? So when that was leading into itself, I was saying, in these videos, do we have to pay it again? And if we pay it again, the next-gen upgrades really need to be worth it, and normally they're free, so really the DLC needs to be worth it. So I guess the way my mindset, those are hard words to say back-to-back, especially how fast I talk. My mindset of how this whole thing was going to be was, I was half expecting. I was like, it was a possibility where I would see the next-gen Final Fantasy. It wasn't going to be a free upgrade. I have it on PS4, but I would have to rebuy it if I wanted that DLC. And when I was thinking that, I honestly never did think of that DLC also being on PS4. I guess in my mind, I had always linked it to being, not the website, linked it to being a PS5 kind of exclusive gig. You know what I mean? Where the DLC is linked to the PS5's version of Final Fantasy, which you'd have to buy again. I honestly, I guess, again, it comes from a point of being, like, spoiled or whatever, whatever. Again, I hate using lucky. I hate saying spoiled or, like, privileged. I hate those words, okay? But, I do have a PS5, okay? I was lucky, and I guess I would admit that. To get the PS5, especially day one like me, you have to have some sort of luck on your side, right? To be able to pre-order it and for it to actually show up at your door without it being stolen, and be on day one, right? You did have to have some luck. I am okay with it. I see no problem with it, but I guess that is probably easy for me to say when I have everything set up. For me, it's as easy as download it again on the PS5 for the free upgrade, buy the Yuffie DLC separate, play the Yuffie DLC. That's the order of events that I'm going to be doing. So I do understand it. I am a fan of having things be exclusive to the next gen just to get people over to next gen. Again, I get people do want it, it's just they can't get it. Okay, so I do get all these. I'm not stupid. Okay, I'm not like blatantly like ignoring your guys as being like, well, I can't afford it, or I can't get it because it's just not available. Like I'm not saying like, oh, that sucks. I'm saying like, no, I actually understand it. You know what I mean? I get it. At the same time, to me, it's not that big of a deal. And, I would pull the card of, like, you could watch it online. I get that could maybe be a little low to say something like that. We don't know how long it is. That's the thing. I guess to look at it in a positive way, if you want to, like, bash the DLC, if you can't get it, right? If you have a PS4 and you can't get the DLC, maybe it's only a couple hours. Maybe a lot of it's cutscenes. You can just watch it. A lot of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts games, stuff like that, a lot of them are cutscenes. You don't necessarily have to even play the game to get the, I guess you need to play the game to get the most out of it, but to get the gist, you could just watch it. You know what I mean? So, I get it. I understand it. I wouldn't say like I'm fully on the side of what Square Enix did. I don't think I 100% support them, but I'm okay with it. I don't have anything, like I'm not gonna make a video bashing it, okay? We'll see how the DLC is. If it sucks, if it's $20 and it's like 1 hour long, well, obviously those are problems that obviously I would voice my concern on, okay? So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what's your situation? Did you already have it? Do you have a PS5? Are you going to get the DLC? All that stuff, let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.